morning, everyone. How are you? I hope that you all are happy and safe at home. Today, we are going to start our topic tense. So, first of all, I tell you what is tense. A tense tells us about the time. A tense is not a time. It tells us about the time of an action. So firstly, I tell you what is time. Time is defined as the duration in which all things happen. In another words, we say tense is a category that expresses time with reference to the movement of speaking. Okay, I explain it with one example. See here, first example, Tom plays tennis today. Today, you see the word today. And in second example, I say Tom played cricket yesterday. Okay, and in third example, I say Tom will play football tomorrow. Here a word tomorrow. So you see, tense tells us about the time. Tense is not a time. Tense tells us about the time of an action. In another words, we say forms of a verb which show the time at which an action happened. I explain it with one example. You see here, Ram writes a letter. Our main verb is here, writes. W-R-I-T-E-S, writes. In second example, we say, Ram wrote a letter. Our main verb is wrote. And in third example, we say, Ram will write a letter. Here, our main verb is will write. So when our tense is changed, our form of the verb also changed. So what is tense? Form of a verb which show the time at which an action happened. Okay, so next slide. Now we talk about tense. Tense, there are three types of tense: present tense, past tense, and future tense. Firstly, I tell you present tense. What is present? An action. We describe an action that is currently going on. Okay, and past tense, we're describing an action that has happened. And in third, future, we're describing an action that yet not happened. Okay, so what is present tense? That work is currently going on. Past tense, the action has happened. And future tense, the action yet not happened. Okay, so next one slide. Now I tell you present tense, past tense and future tense are divided into another four categories. Firstly, we talk about present tense. Present tense is divided into four categories. First is simple present tense. Second is present continuous tense. Third is present perfect tense. And fourth is present perfect continuous tense. Like this past tense also divided into four parts: simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense. Now we talk about future tense. Future tense also divided into four parts. First is simple future tense. Second is future continuous tense. Third is future perfect tense. And fourth is future perfect continuous tense. But today in our class, we discuss about simple present tense. So first of all, I tell you what is simple present tense. The simple present tense in English is used to describe an action that occurs on a regular basis and to state universal truth. Means simple present tense we used in English to describe an action that repeated again and again and a regular action or universal truth or facts related to person or things. Okay, so firstly I tell you uses of simple present tense. First is simple present tense is used for repeated or regular actions. That action we repeated are regular actions. Like one example we take here, I go to school by bus. Here, now you know very well lockdown situation, but before lockdown situation, that is a regular action. I go to school by bus. In another example, you see, the train leaves by 10 a.m. So that is repeated and regular action. So we use simple present tense for repeated or regular action. Second use of simple present tense for facts. Facts related to a person, related to a thing. For example, the president lives in the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The president lives in the Rashtrapati Bhavan. That is fact. Next is a spider has 8 legs. Everyone know that spider has 8 legs. That is facts that related to a person or thing. That is two uses of simple present tense for repeated or regular action and for facts. Now we talk about third use of simple present tense for habits, for our habits. I explain it with one example. Martha brushes her teeth 3 times a day. You see, Martha brushes her teeth 3 times a day. This is her habit. And next one, I get up at 8 a.m. on Sundays. I get up at 8 a.m. on Sunday. So for habits, when we discuss about our habits, which tense we use here? Simple present tense. And next is for things that are generally true, means universal truth. Okay, see one example here. The sun rises in the east. That is truth, that is universal truth. The sun rises in the east. And second is trees shed their leaves in winter. Trees shed their leaves in winter. So where we use simple present tense? Firstly, for routine or regular action. Secondly, for facts, facts related to person, place, things. Okay, and third for habits, and fourth for universal truth. Okay, now I tell you what's the structure. Structures of simple present tense. So you see, what's the structure of simple present tense? Subject plus base form of verb, means first form of verb, plus s or es plus rest of the sentence. I repeat again, structure: subject plus first form of verb plus s or es plus rest of the sentence. Here one thing I tell you, where we use s or es and where we don't use s or es. Okay, so when our subject is he, she, it, any person's name or singular number, then we use verb first form of the verb plus s or es. But when our subject is I, you, they, we, plural number, then we use first form of the verb. I once time repeat again. If subject is he, she, it, any person's name, singular, then we use first form of the verb plus s or es. And when our subject is I, you, they, we, plural number, then we use first form of the verb. Here one thing more, that we use two helping verbs in simple present tense, do and does. Helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Okay, so when our subject is he, she, it, any person name, singular number, then we use helping verb do in simple present tense. And when our subject is I, you, they, we, plural number, then we use does helping verb or auxiliary verbs in simple present tense. Okay, I explain it now with some examples. So our first example is birds. See, first example is birds fly. Birds fly. Here birds, our subject is bird and fly is first form of the verb. Here subject is plural, birds, plural number. So we use here only first form of the verb. You see another example. He plays football every Sunday. See here, our subject is he. So we use here P-L-A-Y-S, first form of the verb plus S. Okay. Another example we take, a mother loves her children. A mother, here mother is singular number. So we use here loves, L-O-V-E-S, first form of the verb plus S. A mother loves her children. Subject plus verb ki first form plus S or ES plus rest of the sentence. Okay. Now second is negative sentences. Negative, we use not in negative sentences. Okay. For negative sentences, we have the following structure. Subject, auxiliary verbs, not plus main verb means first form of the verb plus rest of the sentence. So I tell you that we use two auxiliary verbs here, do and does. Okay, do and does. So subject plus do or does plus not plus first form of the verb plus rest of the sentence. Okay, do, where we use do and where we use does. We use do with our subject is he, she, it, any person name and singular name, and does when our subject is I, you, they, we, plural number, then we use does helping verb. Now you see some examples of negative sentences. First is penguins don't fly. You see here penguins, plural number, so we use here helping verb do. Penguins do not fly. Okay. In second example, you say I do not like to play football. Now our subject is I, so we use here helping verb do. I do not like to play football. In third sentence, we use our subject is he, so we use here helping verb does. He does not play football. One thing I tell you here, when we use does helping verb, we don't use S or ES with first form of the verb. You see here we use play only. He does not play football. Okay. So now we talk about our next sentence, interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences we have. What is interrogative sentences? When we ask some questions. So for interrogative sentences, we have the following structure. First is auxiliary verbs plus subject plus main verb means first form of the verb plus rest of the sentence. So here we use also two helping verbs, do or does. Do or does plus subject plus first form of the verb plus rest of the sentence. I explain it with some examples. You see here, do you speak French? Do. You see that we use helping verb before subject. In interrogative sentences, we use helping verb before subject. So, do you speak French? Do you speak French? And one thing more, we use question mark at the end of the interrogative sentences. Okay, so do you speak French? Next example, do you. Our subject is you, so we use helping verb do. Do you need my help? Okay, in third example, we see our helping verb is does because our subject is he. He. Does he play football on Sunday? Okay, so I hope that you understand all the concept, and next tense we will discuss in our next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.